Not live, and now coming to you on HD from the fabulous Sunset Strip in Hollywood, California, it's the Bob Dean Show. Yay! It's a very unenthusiastic yay. Yeah. Just I know we're on camera, but now I know we're starting a little late today. I have to apologize to Boyer Barner and Cindy Earl for cutting you out of the show today, but traffic in LA blows, and we're going to get into that. As my friends, this is Danielle Edison, Ben Good, and you all know Dennis Alsin. And, of course, Samee Junio and Joe White are here, my producer and my cinematographer and friends, of course. And I want to give a shout-out to Zach Herndon in Bloomington, who does work from there. I spoke to you today. Sorry to get a chance to get through. And let's see what else. You can listen to The Bob Dean Show. Please subscribe to the show now before I forget on iTunes. We have a lot of listeners. And subscribe and rate and review, please. You can also listen on the Stitcher app. STITCHER, if you have an Android device. And my website, bobthesurlycomic.com, thanks to Zach Herndon, and, of course, now on YouTube. So please tell all your friends. Danny's going to teach me how to hashtag.
Let's hear it.
She was the first person I knew that was I'm like, what the hell is up with this, the plus sign or this tic-tac-toe thing. Yeah, that was, 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay, now, listen, the Bob Dean Show is not political, yay. It's not political. You know, I don't give a shit who you voted for. I mean, I love my country, I do. But it's not a political show. But I just got to say something because all my Facebook friends are blowing up about this. These kids that are being separated from their parents coming into the United States. Well, you know what? Mm-hmm. Leave them at home or don't come. All right? I love kids. I do. But just like we were talking about in the car, it popped into my mind. How many little kids are crying for their mom and dad when their mom and dad are being deployed to protect this great country that everybody wants to come to because it's a land of opportunity and they want a better life. They're not coming to your states like Missouri or Kentucky. I know they're going to Nashville because everything's built there. People say, Bob Dean, why did you move to Nashville? I mean, why did you move to LA if you blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why I moved to LA? That door handle's turning. Somebody wants to get in. The reason why I moved to LA is because everybody was moving to Nashville. Huh. And I came out here with some cats, okay? Like I said, I love kids, procreate, do all that sort of thing. But, I don't know. Does anybody have an opinion on that?
They don't like cats in Nashville?
No, I'm talking about all these people that are all these people that I know that live in gated suburban communities that are bitching about how these people should be reunited. Yeah, they should be reunited, but don't make the attempt. I'm sorry.
I did see a lot of that going on, and a lot of people are pulling up quotes from former First Lady Barbara Bush saying she is not happy with what's happening, and she lives in a border state.
Yeah, well, the whole thing about it is nobody's happy about it, but at the same time, I mean, just like the whole thing, I read up on a little bit. The law is the law. I mean, nobody wants to go to the slammer and that sort of thing. But anyway,
what is the purpose of taking the kids away? Like, why do they have to separate them?
Because that's what the law says, and it's listen. How many people do we know that live here in Los Angeles? Okay, and no names mentioned, but we all have friends who are here illegally, and they're wonderful, wonderful human beings with great souls and great minds and great work ethics, and they're family people. But if I don't know, you can't get here legally, then
there might even be one in this room.
Uh-oh. Look at us looking around at each other. It's probably me and don't even know it. I got my Ancestry DNA thing back.
Oh, what did it say?
I didn't read the directions where it said not to party before you sent it in because I'm like half Peruvian, half Turkish from the camels, a quarter Russian from the vodka. All right, well, this is going nowhere. I'm getting crickets around here on this subject. I'm just saying, stop it. Stop bitching about it on Facebook.
I mean, I think if they want to be here legally, that's great, but you don't know what they're fleeing from. So I don't think you probably...
Yeah, I understand that. But, okay, this is my whole point of why I brought it up, okay? Because we have
be glad we live where
we have enough of our own living, and we are humans. We are all our own, okay? But we have. This is why I get so pissed off about it, because there are so many homeless people in Los Angeles right now, and I live like a mile and a quarter from the VA hospital, okay? And these are already United States citizens that are sleeping in the street because the average apartment starts at $1,800 in towns, in city parts of town that we are afraid to drive through. All right. And it's just getting worse. And why is it getting worse? Because foreign interests are buying up everything with cash, which makes it almost impossible for the first time homeowner, i.e., young people like you who are smart, creative, and have good jobs. But I'm not saying you guys, but how many of people that you know, when they apply for a loan, it's purchased up like the cash. There's nowhere for us to live as it is right now. So I think we should concentrate a lot more on taking care of our own until we get this thing solved.
Agree.
I agree with
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so much for that happy-go-lucky Bob Dean. Yeah. Screw it. Just don't bother me, okay? Because when my landlord sells a building, I'm going to come live on y'all's sofa. All right. So anyway, Danielle, Edison, yay, and Ben Good, yay. Dennis Alsin, yay. Welcome to the Bob Dean Show.
Thank you,
Thanks for a little commentary. I know you're all like, oh, this is supposed to be so much fun, and here he is going off like a fucking lunatic about
Do you have
something
any
he probably
tissue
knows
here?
nothing
I'm
about.
about to cry, Bob. This is very
No,
sad.
but you can use my shirt. Because I'm going to OxyClean it. Y'all ever used OxyClean before?
I actually have, and that works.
That shit it works harder than most beep that I know.
Yeah.
That friggin' shit works
It
great.
really does.
Doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, Dennis brought some home the other day, and let me tell you, we have a sofa that was. The guy came to clean the carpets, and it's that faux suede and that L section that's so popular now, you know. And he was like, dude, people get suckered into buying this. He said, don't feel bad. He said, but this fabric is uncleanable. And he was using the Stanley steamer stuff on it.
Okay.
So we were like, well, let's just stick it in some OxyClean. So Dennis put it in the tub and walked up and down on it like I Love Lucy stomping grapes.
And it worked.
Yeah, it worked freaking great.
It looks new.
So
I will often just spill wine on myself so I can use it.
Just to do it?
Just why not? I get to use my OxyClean.
Well, I love the product. I wish I could use it on my teeth. Went to the dentist today.
Try, yeah.
You can.
I'm going to fucking gargle with it because after the report that I got today, thanks to our friend Nicole, our 405 traffic reporter, who is also my high-end Brentwood dental hygienist, gave me the bad news
What was
today.
the bad news?
That I'm 57, and despite the fact that I went to the dentist regularly and flossed and brushed 2-3 times a day and gargled with Listerine, that it's going to cost me more than a house in Los Angeles to get all these teeth together.
Oh, wow, that's not commercial for a place where you get like a new smile in a day.
Oh, sure,
What's
you can.
that about?
You can if you've got $100,000 in cash. Exactly. Seriously, implants are like $5,000 a piece, and they're like, I always feel they're like, before and after. I wish that I had that clinical trial before and after offer.
Oh, how many teeth do you really need, Bob?
Fortunately, the ones that I have, with the exception of a couple in the back, are excellent. But if I wear a bridge, if you couldn't tell, because it's uneven. I'm so self-conscious about it, but that's another $10,000 till we start charging all to watch this show.
I've never had a cavity.
That's what I was going to say. My brother and you have never had a cavity in your life, and you got such beautiful teeth and a beautiful smile.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
And a beautiful face and all that great stuff. She's the whole package. These two are Beverly Hills Bon Vivant single folks that I love, and I'm so proud they're my friends. They were all three of these guys, all four of us worked together at my drunken birthday bash. Sorry, you two couldn't make it. That we have at the Abbey just about every year. Danielle was the first one that taught me how to drink. What's that vanilla flavored stuff? Tuaca.
Yes.
That was like 6 years ago on my birthday.
And every time you bring it up, I'm like, that stuff was really good. Why don't I drink that more often?
You don't drink that anymore?
I just forget. I don't do a lot of shots these days.
Yeah,
So,
me either.
I don't.
It's too hard to recover the next day.
It's not really my.
Well, so tell us about yourself. Danielle, you are from Oklahoma.
Yes, I am.
And not Oklahoma City, though.
No, 2 hours north of Dallas. So I definitely consider myself Southern.
Absolutely.
Not
well, you
Midwestern.
are.
Yeah.
And your father, Dwayne Edison, owned...
Dwayne. Dwayne. Just Dwayne.
Dwayne. He used to own Dwayne Edison Chevrolet.
Dwayne,
whatever. Mr. Edison.
Wayne or Dwayne?
Well, I mean, with all due respect,
Wayne,
because
with a W.
I've met Mr. Edison several times, and he's a great guy, so I'm just going to call you Mr. Edison, so I can't pronounce
And he
that.
has his own hashtag. Blame Wayne.
Really?
Blame Wayne.
Blame Wayne.
Nice.
Every time I do something.
Is he still in the car business?
No, he retired a few years ago.
Okay, that'd be bad for a dealership.
Yeah.
Blame Wayne.
Well, no,
Like,
it's more about
Car
like
sucks.
Blame General Motors.
humor and lifestyle choices and embarrassing older daughter moments.
Yeah.
That's when he gets hashtagged. Yeah.
And Ben, you are from Minneapolis, St. Paul, right?
I am. I am from the suburbs of Minneapolis, and been here like over 20 years now.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long. Yeah.
What
I
are you,
moved out
30?
here. It's crazy, right? I moved out here when I was an embryo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like less than 30. No, I moved out here for acting and writing and film business. My father grew up out here, so it was like a
did he?
natural progression, yeah. So as a kid, we'd come out to California a lot for family vacations.
Was your father from Los Angeles?
He grew up, Pomona area.
Well, yeah, that's
so it's close
suburban
enough.
Los Angeles.
Suburban, yeah. So I always knew that I didn't like the cold. So I always knew I wanted to come out here.
Yeah, yeah.
And entertainment was a reason to bring me out here. So that's why I came. Been
Well,
here ever since.
I just thought about this too. Boom. I'm friends with your mom and your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she get those two together and have a party.
I'm telling you what, your mom's pretty
Roxy,
smoking hot
Roxy's
too.
single.
Yeah, Roxanne, she's hot.
Look out.
But they're both really terrific people.
Nah, she's great. She loves you. I mean, she comes out. We have to go to Wolfgang's and see Bob.
And
yeah.
Vaughn, what's Vonnie's last name? Schneck?
Shelk.
Shelk.
Yeah,
Vonnie
Shelk.
Shelk, we're Facebook friends now. Hey, Vaughn. She popped up on that little scroll. So what do you guys, tell us what you do now.
Go ahead, Danielle. What do you do now?
I work for a furniture manufacturing company, and we predominantly sell school furniture, K through 12, colleges. They're actually an American company. They are manufactured down in Torrance.
Well, how about that, ladies and gentlemen, on the Bob Dean
Yes,
Show?
Starbucks
Yay.
called,
Made with American textiles, too?
They have a plant here in Torrance and one in Conway, and they started in 1950. They're still
And
family
what's the name of the company
operated.
that I already love?
VIRCO. So the Virtue family, it's the Virtue company, and then over time, it's now Virco.
Virco. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Virco. You
Are
can still
you-
buy American products for American
Can.
schools made with American textiles.
She's
I didn't
making
think it was
America great
possible.
again.
I know.
Thank you. One,
You can get a
one,
factory tour. It's
one desk at a
fantastic.
time. Do
pretty
they have any
amazing.
kind of fabric now that you can't carve any kind of wood or anything? You can't. Is it wood or plexi or?
We laminate, hard plastic. It's just actually amazing to me what kids do to furnish. These.
Hello.
I
Wow.
behaved. I didn't do anything, but you learn all kinds of things they're willing to do. But now you can get tables that you're supposed to write on with the dry erase. That's
really?
That's a new thing. Yeah.
Now, do they still make? Do they even use them anymore? Like in elementary schools, where you had the top, but you lifted it up and kept all your stuff in it.
They do still
Oh,
make
those-
those.
yeah, those are great.
But the collaborative classroom is really popular with the adjustable height desks, and they're on casters, so you can wheel things around. And
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
Depending on class size and things like that.
it's amazing what they're inventing chairs for kids that have that can't sit still, so they move and they rock. So you can have a rockable chair. Like I was never allowed to do that. You're supposed to sit and be
Sit
still.
still.
Well,
And
the
if you went to
chairs
Catholic
move, they would
school,
rock.
forget it.
We have chairs that actually rock. That are on the ground because some kids like to be on the ground. Some like to be up higher, so they're really doing things for kids that were back in the day. It was all like, no, this is
Sit
the chair
still.
that's
If
your
I had the one
desk.
that rocked when I was a kid, oh my god, I love to rock. That would have been.
Are you a foot
fantastic.
shaker?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
They kind of
I
a
am too.
fidgeter.
I'm doing it
kinda
right
like-
now.
Yeah.
I can't sit next to you foot shakers. After a while, I just start focusing on what you're doing, and then I can't pay
It's
attention.
like we'll just do like I go. Stop it!
I thought Bob was playing footsie with me. I know it was
No, I mean you're good looking, all, but you know. that is-
Learning part of
I
the
don't
show.
cruise straight, guys. Don't worry. And tell us about what you do now, Ben. Now, were you? Because I know you're not. I know. Go ahead. Just tell.
Well, I just
tell the
said,
audience.
How familiar are you with the adult film industry?
Pretty familiar.
Well, I'm not in that anymore.
Was that you?
That was
I
me.
knew
I think
it.
you recognize
Damn.
me.
Wait, let me see. Oh, good. He's wearing pants. It's just the bulge.
It's just balls. I work for a multi-billionaire producer, media mogul, and his wife, and they have a lot of business and industry, and I'm kind of involved in everything that they do. Work for them directly. I also write screenplays and do some acting and getting into producing. Got a couple of projects I'm working on with various companies and stuff. So entertainment, I would just say entertainment. You
Awesome.
know, just it's great. It's a fantastic gig. Love the people I work for. And it's like a family, and I'm very happy.
Well, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. I'm so glad you guys finally made it on the show.
Yes.
Oh, me too. We've been talking about this for a long time.
This is
yeah.
our second. Samee and Joe have introduced the Bob Dean Show. Yay!
Yay.
To the Ruby studio. Is it studio or theater?
The Ruby LA.
The Ruby LA, which is a really cool Los Angeles space. It's a small theater. and of course this fantastic recording studio. Although we do miss, and thank you. I told Sunda she wants you to come get your speakers and stuff. She was telling me in class the other day. She's like, I need space. So I said I'd put him in the station wagon because Hugo, my mechanic, hi Hugo, is putting a fuel pump in the station wagon right now while the convertible is being restored. And
did they break up or something? Why did they come and get their records?
No, because I was getting to that. Thank you. Is that for the last 14 months has it been? This is episode 48. Thank you.
Wow, 48.
Hell yeah, man. And yes, thank you, audience. And but we were grateful and had a wonderful time at the LA School of Comedy. The LA School of Comedy space is at 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard, and it's owned by Sunda Kronqvist, who is a fucking hilarious
She is so
black
funny.
Swedish
Your show
Jew.
last night, I must say.
Thanks for bringing it up.
Fantastic.
Was it?
Like,
Did you have a good time?
I was telling you,
It was
Dennis, it was
great.
good.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was
every
good.
comic was on.
And
point.
everybody was great. And,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to get her on maybe the next open episode because I'm pretty booked. The 17-year-old
She was
girl.
fantastic.
She was
She-
Oh, the
great.
schoolgirl was awesome.
She's going places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was hilarious.
First
and
one you said, right?
Yeah, she was.
she was the first
one.
comic. She's 17. She graduated high school last week,
Wow.
and she is a natural. And I'm wishing, and of course I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I wrote it. It's in my notebook. I'm sorry, but
Which is in the car.
yeah. But she was great, and everybody that went up last night was great. It was a great show.
Yeah, no, you were fantastic. You're like closing now. You're like
Actually,
almost the
they moved me down a spot because Armando, when he went, I'm assuming because Armando he's got his own style. He's hilarious, but I didn't think he was going to go up.
Oh,
Yeah, so I mean,
did it
usually
now.
I go up between James and Sunda, which I'm very proud of.
So you'd have been closing, yeah.
Well, Sunda, of course, and Sunda and James, yeah. But yeah, exactly, and I've done it before, so I mean, it was like, I don't know, I'm just happy that any opportunity. I did the Ha Ha Club in North Hollywood. I will be at Flappers in Burbank for all my friends that live that far out, and it's the over 40 funnies. And I mentioned it in the show last night, and it's true that I was looking on the computer, and I looked at him, Dennis, and we were talking, and I said, hey, man, they want me at, they booked me at Flappers, and we both went, yay, really loud, and my partial flew out.
It's over 40?
It's over 40 funnies.
They're still going to let you perform?
Well, let me tell you something.
Are you there yet? I didn't think you were there yet.
Oh, right. Nice try. Let me show you the bald spot and the gray back hair. And the teeth. Let's not talk about the teeth. But then again, I guess I was going to say something awful.
They make an exception for you, Bob.
Yeah, it had to do with pulling all the teeth, but we're not going to say anything about it. Okay, but anyway, yeah, thanks for coming to the show. I'm sorry, Danny, I know that you were having surgery or something like that, which is why you weren't at my show at the Laugh Factory last night.
What?
I
she's
said
still
I know
invited.
you were having surgery or something that kept you from the show at the Laugh
Oh,
Factory.
I was like, did someone tell you I was having surgery? Because that is not true.
No, dear. What I meant was, I'm sure you had a good reason not to be there.
Yes, I had a good reason not to be there.
You didn't have to go into it.
Well, it's private anyway.
We're going to off camera. No, I'm kidding. All right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to play around a little bit today. Well, first of all, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Family, friends?
I will say hi. Roxy loves you, so you got to say hi to Roxy.
Well, we
my
did it.
mother,
Well, I want you to say it as
hello,
well.
Mom.
Hello, Roxy.
Hello, Bob. Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Nikki, because you know.
Oh, and Nikki.
Oh, Nikki. Well,
Nikki-
she's working tonight. She's
Nikki was
slanging
going to be here
drinks.
tonight,
know.
but she was working for Juan, who was visiting his girlfriend in another country, which I won't say because it'll make me sound racist. He's bound down to Mexico again. But no, it was really cool because Juan had the opportunity to really have some good time to go and spend. And so Nikki was kind enough to cover for
Yeah,
him
but he
tonight.
screwed up Nikki's night, so I can't get behind him.
Really, I know. He's got a lot of nerve trying to
whatever.
you know,
I'm kind of on
have,
the fence,
he's
too.
got a
Like,
lot of love
come
trying to
on,
work
I
on his
love
family
Juan,
and
but
love life and
hey,
all that
man,
stuff. What a selfish bastard.
We have things going on here. So hi, Nikki. Wish you were
Hi,
here.
Nick. Well,
Hi,
we'll
Nick.
have her on again. So you're still in Beverly Hills, right? Living in Beverly Hills.
Still living in Beverly Hills.
And you are in
I'm a WeHo.
In West Hollywood, yeah, that's what I thought.
That's a great neighborhood. Can walk everywhere. Great spot. Cool.
and I love your neighborhood too.
Quiet, clean. I
but
don't have to
parking's a
recycle
bitch.
anything. They do it for you. You just put
Beverly,
it
they
all in
recycle
one dumpster.
Oh, that's what they tell you.
Well, that's probably hey.
Well, I'm a big recycling
You know.
kid, but no, I love your apartment is gorgeous, and
Thank
your
you.
neighborhood is great, and you're pretty walking accessible too.
I could walk if I wanted to, but I'm
But
usually
who
heels.
does? I mean, if you live in West Hollywood or a Silver Lake or whatever, and the shops and stores and clubs are within like 2 blocks, then you walk.
Well, she has a Segway. You haven't seen her on her Segway?
Shoot.
cruising around?
That's not in anymore.
Or the
It's
bird.
those little
Oh,
scooter
the
things.
bird.
Oh my
Yes,
God,
the
that's what I
bird.
wanted to
that
talk
are
about.
Bird
everywhere.
scooters are everywhere.
As if motorcycles in LA weren't annoying enough.
Yeah.
Now we have the bird scooters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I mean,
These are catching fire. They're
yeah,
everywhere.
they are
are.
everywhere. And I got into an argument with my road rage, which everybody knows is going to get me killed. There's a guy riding a bird scooter through Century City, just past Century, where Santa Monica and Little Santa Monica split.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and he is in the right lane, electricing along. And of course, the traffic's not going anywhere anyway. It's going like 5 miles an hour. But I had the windows down and the roof open on the Volkswagen, and I looked at him and I go, "Isn't that weird? Now that's how you're going to die." Because I say that to everybody when they pull up next to me on a motorcycle. Because for those of you that live in what snotty-ass people call the flyover states, in Los Angeles, I don't know what I think it is legal or not, but motorcycle riders
Split lane.
They can
It's
split
called
lanes.
splitting
Yeah.
lanes.
Okay, well, what they do is they ride in and out on the expressway going 90. They will go in between you, and yet it's the driver of the automobile's fault if you have on your signal and you're changing lanes, but don't catch that.
At least there's a helmet law. There's no helmet law in Oklahoma.
Or in Minnesota. There's no
Yeah.
helmet
So
law, yeah.
it's kind of,
Well, I mean, what I'm saying though is that anytime a motorcycle pulls up next to me going in between, what if you should happen to stick your head out the window if you got to throw up, or you go like this with your arm, or you open up your door, God forbid, boom, these guys are dead. And that's why when they pull up next to me, if I'm at the first car, and I just look at them and I go, "Isn't that weird knowing that's how you're going to die?" And they're like, "Fuck you, old man." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the same thing that the girls say to me at the clubs when I tell them I'm not going to buy them a drink." But these scooter things now, for those of you that don't know what they are, they're the little, it's a really great concept because I just found out how it works.
Yeah, it's an app.
Although it's like a huge litter, it's an app, and they're little stand-on scooters with the handlebars, and you're a member of the app, so they charge you by the mile or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and they look fun as hell. I told Dennis, I said, I'm going to get one of those, because they're all in my driveway all the time now.
They're everywhere.
because you can just
You can
drop 'em,
ride,
you drop 'em.
you look
dump
on your
them.
app to see where one is parked. You walk to it, you get on it, you do what you want to do, and you leave it anywhere.
You log off and go.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. But but they're buzzing all in and out of traffic, and this guy's riding along. And I go, "Isn't that weird knowing how you're going to die?" And my lane was moving, blah, blah. So we get down in front of the peninsula at the light at Wilshire, and it's all backed up. And he comes scooting up next to me, and I'm like jamming a New Order or something, like us old people do. And he gets off the scooter. And he's got his little helmet on. He was a nicely dressed young man. And he like leans it down to the window and he goes, "Sir, are you familiar with the California Motor Vehicle Code?" or something like that. And I leaned over on the arm. I got to pick, put everything into descriptive. And I put my elbow on the console thing and I go, "Yes, I certainly am. And that's how you're going to die." And he goes, "Let me," and he started getting agitated. and he takes off the helmet and he goes, "Come on, get out of the car." And I go, "What are you going to do? Hit me with the helmet? Douchebag." And then he started getting really mad. He's like, "You fucking asshole." I'm like, "I know I am. I'm a real jerk, wiener head." And I was just like a little kid.
I've
Wow.
witnessed the Bob Dean
Oh, have you seen him do this?
outside of Wolfgang's.
Oh, really?
Before.
Anywhere. I'm
Yeah.
awful. I can't control it. I screamed. I can't tell. I'll have to tell you a story off camera because it could come back to bite me. But
So
there's a
it's-
woman that comes to the bar
Yeah.
who's like, she and her husband, they're like this lovely, affluent Beverly Hills couple. And she said to Nikki, she goes, "Does Bob have a really big station wagon with the wood size?" And she goes, "Yeah, that's one of his 3 cars." And she goes, "I saw him like get out of the car and scream at these people." At the corner of
Wow.
Rodeo in Santa Monica the other day. She goes, "I didn't think it was him." So Nikki's like, "Oh, that's him, honey."
Yeah.
So if you go look at your car now, will there be like a bird scooter and some blood as a hood
Well,
ornament? or
no,
what?
I mean, I don't intentionally look at these people.
Somebody, like-
It's their responsibility, just like the illegal immigrants and kids and all that sort of
But
thing.
hasn't someone hit your car with a cane or something before?
No, I hit her car with a cane.
Oh,
Where'd you get the cane?
I bought it at the thrift store.
Well, just like everybody does.
Well, no,
right?
I mean,
Who doesn't have a cane in
I
their
have a
car?
friend. We have a friend who lives in our neighborhood, and I was coming back and we used to take it when I stroll and that sort of thing. And this woman it was on Barrington and Nebraska. It was the middle of the afternoon, and she was texting. I was watching her when the light was, and it's a residential area. It's not like it's a 2-lane road.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about. And she was clipping it, and the light turned yellow, and then it turned red, and I counted like 4 beats. For those of you that aren't actors, that's like 4 seconds. I was like boom, 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 and then I stepped out in the street as she ran the red light, and I slammed her with the back of this Benz with my cane. Well, that got her, and it broke my cane. And of course, she locked it up, and she goes, "Eeeh," and before she could even do anything, there's nobody. She was empty on the street. So I ran up to the car, and she rolls the window down. He's like, "What is your problem?" I go, "What is your problem?" It was just this banter back and forth. And she's like, "I think you have anger issues." I'm like, "Of course I have anger issues, you beep." And then she was all like, "Ah!" I'm like, "Why did you stop in the first place, you crazy bitch?" So anyway, if you're watching the Bob Dean Show, yay, I am the old man that hit you with my cane on the back of your black Benz.
Wood-sided station wagon.
Well, see, the wood-sided station wagon, it's so dented in the front. The girl's all bashed in. It looks like a French bulldog.
Oh, it's from hitting bird scooters all over.
No, it's from getting my foot stuck between the gas pedal and the brake pedal and bumping into people on the expressway, literally going 4 miles an hour. That's why. But it looks very threatening.
Wow.
It's noticeable.
Well, see, I told Dennis too. It's like in the new Volkswagen and the LeBaron, which unfortunately caught on fire, but fortunately it should be ready. By the end of the week. It's more than better than its former beauty. I'm really excited about it. But when I'm driving that thing, I'm like, ugh!
What color is it?
It's white with dove gray mark cross leather interior.
Beware bird scooters.
Exactly, because it's got energy absorbing bumpers, baby, and I will pick you off one by one. But when I do that, I'll start screaming and all that sort of thing. And he's like, "Pull back, man! This isn't the station wagon. You can't just run them over." I'm like, "Damn! I don't want to scratch it." Well, you have a very interesting car too, Danielle.
Yes, I do.
There's probably 100, maybe 1,000 of them left in the country.
Probably, yeah.
Because they were very well. Tell us what it is.
Yugo?
No, and I was the number one Yugo salesman in 3 states. That's a whole nother story. I was before you.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
It's a Pontiac Solstice. It's the little two-seater, but they don't make Pontiac's done. It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's been for a long time. Yeah.
And I've had it, and I've got a personalized license plate.
It's fire engine red.
It's red.
What? I've never seen this car.
It's
And-
when we leave. It's
And then
Okay.
I think it was the last year of Saturn, that's been gone for years.
Saturn had a very similar.
It was the
build,
same
the
chassis.
Sky.
Yeah, the Sky.
The Sky.
Yeah, but it's a really cool sports car.
I love it. I don't
Well,
have
you
to
should.
be designated driver, and I don't have to pick you
What
up
year
from
is
the
it?
airport.
Wait, seriously?
It's an 08.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a really hot little car, and it's got a really sculpted rear end and but I hate it when this beautiful blonde, she comes pulling up to the valley and she's got the top up, and I always run out and
I
go,
know.
"What's the point, Danielle? Put the damn top down."
Down a lot more.
Well, you do, but
I've done my hair.
you got what you do done. You got to have that blonde hair flying in the
Oh, yeah.
wind, right? It's a
Yeah.
really cool car, but
It's
where
got
was I going?
satellite radio. No,
Okay.
no nav, but it's got the satellite.
that?
And actually, I don't. Now with your phone, you don't need.
You don't need it.
I don't even use the backup camera on my work vehicle. I forget I have it. I'm always like, "What's happening?" I'm like, "Oh," because I'm old school. I use my mirrors.
Yeah.
You
Who does
know.
that
I'm
anymore?
like, "Why is this thing beeping?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, the backup camera."
There's somebody on a bird scooter directly behind me, so I guess I should stop texting. It's okay for me to text and drive, but nobody else. As these two over
You're
here
so good at
texting
it.
while we're talking. Are you text? Are you blogging about how cool the Bob Dean Show is? Yeah. What do you drive? You drive an Audi, right?
No, I have a BMW now. It's a
Oh, I'm so
hybrid.
sorry.
Yeah, I had the i3, which I had to get rid of. I couldn't take anymore because it had
Well,
no
when you
range.
got it, it was such a cool car,
was a
and
great
everybody
car.
was. But they don't even have a spare tire, do they? Didn't
They
you
do
learn
not
that
have a spare
after
tire.
you leased
I
it?
bought it, I realized there is no spare tire in this thing. There's a fix-a-flat can basically in the trunk, and that's all you get.
Mm-hmm.
And it has bike tires on it essentially. They're very thin. It was terrible, and it rode like a golf cart. It was just not fun.
Yeah.
And just you had to charge it constantly. It was like a part-time job trying to keep this car charged.
Well, I know, and you've upgraded to.
I got the 330IE, which has a plug-in, but then, as I told you, and I came in very pissed off one day,
Right.
that Beverly Hills changed all the charge point stations where you can only charge there if you have a fully electric car.
Right.
No hybrids. So now there's
Which is just
basically
ridiculous.
nobody charging there
Right, all the
anymore.
charging
They're
stations
wide
are empty.
open. They're empty. Makes
God.
no sense. It's
Well,
just,
that sort of
ridiculous.
came really quick. Like what's that other one? Not Le Car. The
the car.
not Le Car, but the little 2-seater thing that the showrooms on the corner
The
of.
little Tesla thing?
No, it's on the
first
corner
Tesla?
of Santa Monica Boulevard and Beverly Boulevard. If you turn right, it's on the right-hand side. The little 2-seater car. Smart car.
Smart
Thank
car.
you.
Oh.
Smart.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, yeah.
smart cars. I mean, what was it? 10 years ago, they were everywhere.
Oh, there's two of them in the lobby right here. They're that small.
Yeah, right. They're
They're
planters
everywhere.
now.
Bookends.
But yeah, there was a woman that lived next to me in the fancy schmancy building, Piper, and she's a really really cool lady. But she had a very big, expensive car. And when the smart car came out, she comes pulling out of her garage, and we became friends because we'd walk our dogs and that sort of thing. I used to call her the Grand Dame of Stoner Avenue, whatever. But anyway, so she gets a smart car, and she's like, I just love it. It's so much fun. Come on, we get in, and she takes me for a couple-mile ride, and I'm like, oh, it's surprisingly roomy, blah, 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 la, la, la. And about 3 weeks later, I'm walking along into her garage door, goes, and she comes out in this big black Jag, and she's got a cigarette in her hand, she's pretty blonde. And I'm like, smart car didn't make it high. She's like, I couldn't stand another mile.
It's actually in the trunk.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I love cars. Now, you know what? Enough about that. Let's play a new game. Does anybody curious what it is?
Yeah, I'm curious.
What
do you call your game,
No,
Bob?
well, it's called, may I?
Yeah, Dennis has been
This
hanging out
is
with a
the
very
Amy Vanderbilt's Guide to Etiquette from 1957. Dennis found this book.
Is Amy from the Vanderbilt family?
Well, as my friend Julia Cogile in Nashville used to say, Amy Vanderbilt, because Julia's from Julia Sugarberry, very, very smart, sassy, Southern background, as you know. And she would be like, whenever there'd be a huge faux pas, she'd be like, I pushed Amy Vanderbilt out the window. She didn't jump. So she committed suicide at some point, like all these rich people do. But anyway, so if it's okay with you guys, this is going to be the first premiere. We'd have to think of a name for the game. Ask Amy, something like that.
Ask Amy.
Just jump.
That's it! Just jump! If you get it wrong, just jump. Good, ladies and gentlemen. Yay! Just jump. Now for our first segment of Just Jump, where Dennis Alsin is going to read an etiquette question, and we're going to see if we get the right answer. And
there's answers for it?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And that's good because they're really short questions, too. So we can talk amongst ourselves. Let's put a time limit at
14 minutes?
30 seconds because I was late, so we have limited show time. How much time do we have so far?
We got like 5 minutes.
5 minutes? I thought you said 7:40.
6:37.
Yeah, that's 7:40.
I've got 5 after 7. What time do you have?
Yeah, 5 after 7.
7:35.
Time for a new
What
watch,
the hell? This is a 50-year watch my dad gave me for Christmas.
You better let's
It's
jump.
beautiful, but
Exactly. Well, I guess we're gonna have time for about 2
Just jump,
questions.
Bob.
This is gonna be short, the Bob Dean Show. Okay, but yeah, let's give it a shot.
Here we go.
Okay, does one open one's napkin in the lap as soon as sitting down at table, or is it proper to wait until the food is served?
That's easy.
I wait until I sneeze.
They already sneezed on your dinner on the way there.
You sneeze on your shirt. Everybody knows that. Or in your hands.
I got it wrong.
Danielle, what do you think?
I would put it in my lap upon sitting.
Immediately.
Yeah.
That's what we all say immediately.
The guests wait until the hostess has taken up hers before placing their own, entirely open if they are lunch size, or in half if they are dinner napkins. Napkins are tucked in only for children. They are never refolded. At the end of the meal, they are gathered and laid casually to the left of the place setting.
Did you get that? That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I just tuck it in my shirt when I.
A lot of people do now.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know why not? But according to Amy, that's why she jumped. Can we have one more? Can we have another question, please, Mr. Alsin, the question man?
All right.
Just
My husband insists on pouring gravy all over everything.
I'm sorry. Start again.
My husband insists on pouring gravy all over everything on his plate. I feel this is bad table manners. What do you think?
Yes.
It's bad.
I mean, if you're in a social situation, I mean, if you're sitting at home in your underwear eating dinner on your belly like I do all the time.
Oh, I know you're supposed to pass the salt and pepper in a group.
You're right.
And you're supposed to taste the food before you salt and pepper it. So if he's not tasting his food and just dumping gravy on it, then yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna say you put gravy on what you want to put gravy on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. At home by yourself, yes. But if you're out in a social situation or somebody's home for dinner, no.
All right. Gravy. Unless it's gravy in which meat, fish, or other protein is incorporated, is never poured on or ladled onto rice, noodles, or other than meat on the plate. It is an insult to the cuisine to inundate everything with gravy, or with gravy dip a forkful into the gravy that has escaped from the meat.
But you can put ketchup on everything.
Well, yeah, I skipped a line.
Well, I thought gravy on rice
or that American favorite, ketchup. If you want to eat your potatoes with gravy, dip a forkful into the gravy that has escaped from the meat.
That's what I do. That's what I was taught to do.
What escaped from the meat? The potato?
Gravy.
You put the gravy on the meat, but if you want to put your potato, I guess, so you're not supposed to put gravy on mashed potatoes?
No.
No wonder she jumped.
I know.
Because everybody was doing it wrong, according to her. We have time for one more, please?
And she weighed 95 pounds, so.
Please tell me
jump.
if it's permissible to dunk donuts, cookies, etc., either at home or elsewhere.
Yes, if you break it.
Was that
Anyone
your,
else?
is that your guess?
I
If
jumped in front of
break
you
it?
guys. If you break it in two, you can dunk, but you can't. You don't submerge it
I
with
think
your
you
fingers.
dunk. I think you dunk anything. Yeah.
I don't know
dunk
if you
it.
could dunk in public. I would think at home.
Okay,
I
so
say
we've
you
got
can-
one. I say yes. Ben says dunk anything, and
I say
Danielle
dunk,
says
yes.
not in public.
Dunk in public. Yep.
Okay. Dunking donuts or cookies, eating chicken, pie, and other things with your fingers depends very much on the circumstances. If you are having coffee with a friend in the kitchen, dunk if you wish. If donuts or cookies are served at tea, you would be uncomfortable doing so, I am sure. So many of these things depend on good
am
sense
I.
and appropriateness. As a general rule, I would say don't dunk publicly except under very informal circumstances. And if you dunk, break the donut or cookie in half, just as you would break your bread rather than bite into the
You
whole
know who would
slice.
disagree with that? Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Please.
Well, you know what? I think I like this. Thank you, Dennis Alsin. We're going to
welcome.
call you Miss Vanderbilt.
No,
We're
you're
going to
not.
think of a good name
Till
for
tonight. Yeah,
you.
till
But, ladies and
tonight.
gentlemen, this is a great Miss Amy Vanderbilt. In Amy Vanderbilt's Everyday Etiquette has made a careful selection of thousands of questions which to pour in from her daily syndicated column, television show, and lectures, and the many readers of. You'll have to tune in next
Go
week.
to your local.
to hear the rest of the sleeve cover.
And pick up your own copy.
Oh, am I over here now? I'm looking over there. Have I been over here the whole time? I've been looking over here the whole time. I thought it was this
Wow,
one.
really the wrong camera. Camera
Gee
one.
whiz.
Camera
Well, at least
two.
this is my good side.
Camera one. Camera two.
Thanks for you guys got to let me know what's going on. I swear I've been looking over here the whole time.
You have. Look at that
Damn.
Ben cam.
Well, at any rate, the bed cam. Well, anyway, just jump. That's our new segment name for the Amy Vanderbilt Etiquette Guide.
Just
Jump. I want to thank. I love you guys. I'm sorry I was late. I had an audition that I could actually walk to from my apartment, but it took me an hour plus to get here. 7 miles. Thank you, Los Angeles. But we all love it here. Wouldn't live. Danielle Edison, I love you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Ben Good, thank you for making it here. I'm
you're
sorry it was a
welcome.
short show. It's my fault. Dennis Alsin, thank you.
You're welcome.
Samee, John, thank you. Guys, please, again.
No, not John.
Did I call you John, mother? Fuck.
Amy's
Ask
going to
any of
kick
these
your
guys.
ass. Just jump.
Seriously, just jump. I am going to jump. I'm sorry, pal. I warned you when I first met you. I'm going to call you the wrong name for about a month, and then you'll be sorry that I ever learned it. All right, please, guys, subscribe on iTunes. Ask your friends to subscribe to the Bob Dean Show.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay, rate and review. And Stitcher, the BobTheSurlyComic.com. I will be at Flappers in Burbank on July 15th, Sunday. And Dennis Alsin, thank you. Everybody, thank you. And please, love thy neighbor. Have a nice day.
Ba-ding.